of Skyrim. We need more bones. There's some things you need in Skyrim, but when you're a necromancer, you need more bones. I only have some moving bones here, but we need lots of other bones. So we have some hero stuff that we gotta do eventually. That involves going deep into the labyrinths of the earth. However, can't do that without bones. So we are just going to travel in a direction, and then if we see anything that looks like it is made of bones, we're going to pursue that possibility. It's gonna be great. We'll say, never should have come here. Stuff like that. You want people to feel like they're doing well. Hey, there's a troll. Never should have come here. We're going to sprint up to it. That way we won't have any stamina when we arrive. This is widely regarded as an intelligent thing to do. Come back here, troll, for I greatly wish to speak to you. Fortunately, he's got a big heart and soul, and now I'm in possession of it. However, in spite of its muscly frame, little known fact about trolls, no bones, totally boneless, and that of course makes them entirely useless, or moderately useless, for me here. We are arriving at... Oh, I say, what goes on here?
Must have run off. Greetings, sister. You look weary. I have something to help you relax, if you're interested.
What are you talking about?
The finest skooma, the sweetest moon sugar, at a fair price, of course.
It doesn't seem legal.
A snitch, eh? Can't have you running to any guards now, can I?
I was just talking, man. But you're going to realize that you shouldn't have, I was just making conversation, but apparently he's gonna try to fight me. You know, this is interesting because, charmingly, he is made of bones. That's good. We, after all, did need more bones. I think we're actually, yeah, we're en route to the bone altar in the rift, which we may or may not use, you know. Because the skeletons do have a time limit, and I think it's likely enough that we'll go up to the Windhelm altar and then fast travel over to Labyrinthian, because it's like over here, all the way over there. I need to get that one too. Well, you know, everything in its right place. We'll get around to it. Here we just go overland. Yes, as is tradition. The important thing is to never try to go up a mountain the way you're supposed to initially, you know, because it's like cowardice, right? You're supposed to walk around like so with the belief that your superior Skyrim knowledge of geometry will eventually allow you to make it up somewhere, and then and only then figure out, you know, if it was smart or not. For who among us has not done this to try to get to High Hrothgar without a horse, and then thought, perhaps a bad call. Alright, well, that's a lot more sheer than I thought. Also, it's not really getting us there, is it? Is it all the way on the top on the other side? Apparently. Well, you know, let's just go around this way. That'll be fine. There's a fort that is forever far away, though, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you know, there's a little road here. That'll be good. We'll keep on following the road. You know, we could do that. That's also very adventurous. Like, can we get up there? Doesn't seem great. Well, with this map add-on, we can tell some of the geometry. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like hard to get to. It might only, maybe you want to go yeah, maybe you want to go all the way over the mountain the legitimate way. Well, we'll just go in this direction and hopefully find a fast travel point or bones, you know. Hopefully bones. Hey, there's a little forest symbol there, a little bendy forest. That can always be fun. That is a bear. That is a cave bear. That's a big bear. Fortunately, we are very brave and strong. And before long, the combat music will already be done playing. The great thing about Rat King is, you know, the enemies get distracted for just a bit. That's all you need, you know. You just need the bear to pay attention to somebody else for a little while. Well, you punch them with your sword. There's different schools of thought on how to play a necromancer, because you can go like pure summon, right? But I kind of like this. I could definitely see the utility in just doing a summon character, especially if you were like, you know, heavily role-playing it and trying, you know, not to die, which I've done like hardcore Skyrim challenges in the past, self-imposed ones, not on YouTube or anything, just, you know, playing, but I was always too careless. Sky Oblivion drops this year? Oh, I have heard of that. I have not been keeping current on the release schedule and stuff, but that is very exciting. I played a bunch of Oblivion once upon a time. Just a whole lot of it. And yet, hilariously, I would say I don't know that very much about it, even though I played it for like more than 1,000 hours. I spent so much of my time in Oblivion inside of that house you could buy in the outskirts of the Imperial City, leveling up with a skeleton, just like holding block and letting the skeleton get me. Or I would be up high in the hills and I would run down and jump down for my acrobatics levels. I had like a very complex system of trying to level up perfectly that was barely playing the game at all. See, every Skyrim you play mage, mainly destruction, but that is a good way to play. This I'm playing with this conversion mod called Ordinator, which is absolutely marvelous, and I would say like I'm probably gonna keep on playing with basically just it, at least for a little while, because it's like a whole new game as far as like power level and possibility goes. Just everything's a lot better. There's so much complexity. There's a ton more perks. Just, you know, like just a ton more. But like I'm really loving it, and my character is doing great. But I got to get all these bones. I got to get bones because I'm a necromancer, and that works now. But you got to get bones to put on these little weird altar things for it. All right, Clear Spring Tarn. Hey, those are people. Are they shooting at me or are they hunters? Okay. Like, I can't believe they're getting that heated at shooting at a deer, right? Like, dual-casted firebolt takes care of it, but you have to have the mana. Yeah, you know, I unless I play like some cheesy, you know, like alchemy, enchanting, abuse, build or whatever, free destruction magic, I basically never make destruction magic work. Although I'll use it like just like flames basically, but I did have one playthrough where I got like a staff of the ice wall thing, and that was very awesome. All right, these hunters are lucky that, you know, we're an opportunistic murderer and not just like a straight up one all the time. But like, and you know, even later on, like without enchantment looping if you can manage to get like a full set of almost free casting, magic. You get like the fireballs that do the AoE explosions, and then you don't even have to aim very well. But what I love, like conceptually, is the spell blade, right? Like I love the idea, although I'm not playing one here, strictly speaking, because of like the heavy summon focus. But I love the idea of using like a sword or a dagger and running around, and then casting fire and like slashing away. Like that was always the archetype that I liked to play in Oblivion, and then I would just not actually play and level up in that house with the skeletons, like I said, because I'm a creature of annoying habits. All right, so we did not clear the tarn. We also didn't look at it very hard. I just want to get this fast travel point. I don't want to fall. I'm falling. Nope, there we go. So I just want to get this fast travel point, and then go see why I can't clear that tarn. Oh, that is... Oh, how interesting. I bet they are made of bones. Let's go say hello. Hello, person possibly of bone. Oh, an adept necromancer, you say? We'll put that name to the test. Oh, you cast frost? You're gonna look like a dummy. Can't run from me, for I am the adept necromancer, truly. Ha ha ha. Alright. Just a little bit of evil cackling later, and oh yeah, we got all sorts of goodness. The shield of 50% frost resist, unless it's 40. Is it 40? It's 50. Yeah, good stuff. Of course, Breton blood in the first place is very excellent. This one you're doing the same, but with some alchemy. Nice. Alchemy is really good. I haven't looked at the tree in this Ordinator mod for it, but I know that I'm sure that it's very strong. But a lot of times, like, I want the poisons to be good, but it always feels clunky, right? Because, you have to menu so much to put them on. But I can easily imagine ways to make it cooler. Alright, so we're just gonna do this loud, right? We're just gonna do this super loud, because I don't care. I'm gonna run up. Ooh, it's a necromage. Fortunately, I am deeply resistant to frost, and not very afraid of you. I am a necromancer specifically spec'd to absolutely maul necromancers in fights. Look at that. Destruction and doom upon you. Are you made of bones, necromage? Get up. Alright, what have we here? Grand Staff of Charming. Decent. Say, doesn't Oblivion let you stack incense and spells? Oblivion lets you custom design your own spells. And you can do that in specific ways that make it very, very strong indeed. But yeah, I forget the precise like interactions because I haven't played it in some years. But basically, there's like, you can spend currency and like items and stuff to empower what you do, and then you can, based on your own like skills and the levels, you can change the amplitude and duration of effects. You can sculpt your own spells, like each individual one. So you can, like how in Skyrim you buy Fireball. Yeah, it's really wonderful if you don't look up how to make it broken, but it's far too easy to make deeply silly. But yeah, just you have the Magus Guild in Oblivion, so you have like your normal your normal magic, like how you go in Skyrim and buy a book. But there's also a way to sculpt spells individually. So there's spells to open a lock, but you could make one that makes it unlocked for 10 seconds, and then the power goes away. Why would you want to? You could want to, and you can make a spell for it. So I would make like the longest hovering light spell that I could make with my magic pool and cast that, and then, carry about your business. But in Morrowind, the magic sculpting the magic system was even more abusable. Very, very cool, though. I remember, but look, the vanilla Skyrim magic system, I still feel like it's got issues, but like it's a lot of like the perks not being very good and being more like gear dependent and that sort of stuff that I thought was good. But I see how hard it would be to make custom spells not super broken, because I mean, if you let people have access to tinkering around with what they get, they're gonna find out how to do it the coolest way. Skeletons, they are made of bones. Truly, we are blessed this day upon the Northwind Summit. More bones, more bones. Great success. Sometimes skeletons are not made of bones, which I find to be a preposterous tragedy. That one had so many bones. So to make skeletons, or skeleton mages, because I have skeleton mages now, as well, you need 5 lefts and a hip, 5 rights, and a rib cage and a skull. That's my little handy mnemonic device that I have come up with for it. Do we want to carry this stuff? No, we're on a journey for bones. We need to travel light. We'll get this Aura Whisper thing. Aura Whisper, if memory serves, is actually like pretty awesome. Honeycombs are super heavy. I kind of regret picking them up. We'll try to remember that we've got them. But alright, yeah, now that we've got this, we will just go right down the hill to the bone altar. This area is where you rode your first dragon after killing Marak. Nice. This is a cool spot. There's not so many places in Skyrim where you can really get a sense of like the scale and the beauty, but this, like, you can see just for absolute ages. Like, that's like freaking Windhelm over there, right? Like, that's all those huge pools of water and steam that you pass over. Like, it's really lovely. Like, that's High Hrothgar. We're up here, and it's a great spot. You get to look out at the distant waterfalls and stuff. Because if that rise wasn't there, right, Windhelm would just be like right over there. It's really, yeah, and then it's a beautiful little vista. What a great game. I think it still looks awesome after all these years. More bones? Oh, this one's just like a regular skeleton on the ground. If you don't kill the skeleton, so the perk, the reason that they have all the bones is from the perk, and I think the perk only changes like the drops that they give, rather than skeletons on the ground. And that wasn't a skeleton that I popped. You wonder when they're gonna show us more Elder Scrolls 6. Oh man, don't. What sadness, right? Once one of my friends like pranked me by essentially saying that there was news about it, and like he told me there was a name, and that and then I got really excited, And this would have been like 7 years ago. People don't forget though. I just told him, I was like, I never gonna really trust you again. It's not okay to do that to people. I look, I want them to do a great job. I think it's important, it's gonna sound silly. I think it's important culturally that one of our most important video game franchises continues to be excellent. Like, I think it would be very sad if Elder Scrolls 6 kind of sucked. I like it. It needs to be great, or it doesn't need to come out. I admire that they have not shoveled out a project that was mediocre, and because people would have bought it, right? Sort of like I didn't play Grand Theft Auto 5. I played the original one. I'm old. But like I know there's been a huge space in between GTA 5 and 6, which is coming out sometime this year, maybe. But and I really respect them for that, because there's a lot of opportunities in business for people to just take the easy money without giving you a good quality for it. Baldur's Gate 3, perhaps the best example of this, because it's so much like in genre with fantasy and all. Yeah, a new Elder Scrolls game on the phone, exactly. And they had Elder Scrolls Online, so they're doing stuff in the universe, but like a proper numbered title. Which, am I gonna be mean about Blizzard? Yeah, why not? So a good example of this is how Blizzard pushed Diablo 3 after like more than a decade of Diablo 2 being out, and it still wasn't good on release, and I'm deeply bitter at them for this. And then they never made Warcraft 4. To their credit, they never made Warcraft 4. Because that would have been wrong. But they did make StarCraft 2, which was fine. It's not part of this conversation, because that one was good. I didn't play it, but it's fine. I have watched like 3,000 or 4,000 hours of professional StarCraft, maybe more. I've been watching Pro StarCraft on YouTube since 08. But it's like, I'm going to use this conversation about Elder Scrolls to club Blizzard for disappointing me in the last 20 years, because that's the sort of bitter guy I am. Alright, do we have enough things? Yeah, we got 2 whole bodies here, so let's go ahead and make... Oh yeah, it's gotta be nighttime. You can't do these rituals in the light of day. And that might crunch this one, but I don't know. It's under active effects, yeah. Okay, so he's gonna die soon. That's sad, We're gonna make a mage. The force of our power just absolutely throws that thing off. Alright, and we don't have another bone for that. That's okay. What's up, skeleton mage? Alright. We're gonna go look for some more bones. We could go into this mine. Do they have bones inside of mines? Let's check. I bet they don't. Is this where that weird necromancer was? No, that's right. We killed the necromage in that other place. That's where we got enough bones. Yeah, that Hammerfell thing, yeah. So, although I'm playing, like, a mage here, so and I talked about the Spellblade thing earlier, like, my real great love in fantasy is playing an archer. I like archers so much. So as you might imagine, a wood elf archer is like my my prototypical character. Like in many fantasy games, it may not be an elf, but like I'm probably gonna choose the person that gets to shoot a bow as a character, probably. Um, so like I would love it to be Valenwood because I really think the Wood Elf society is fascinating. Ooh, bones! How fortuitous! Alright, can't see anything, fortunately. A reasonable duration candlelight is reasonable. You get a little death blow. Oh yeah, I leveled up, didn't I? We should take that because... Alright, so... It's just like a reanimate thing, which isn't that important right now. We need... Void burn, I think, yeah, because, well, we want to get... Alright, so we can strengthen up the skeletons, but if we get to 60, we need that one so that we can bring a bone altar around. And then we need to meet a trustworthy follower so we can give them a lot of bones. But right now, we're going to take this Void Burn, so it basically gives all the bound weapons an enchantment where they get drained of magic and stamina for 15 a second, and then when those are gone, they get 15 magic damage a second, which is real good. It's real good to do that, so that's what we're getting. And of course, evil necromancer lady stealing your precious bodily powers is right up her alley, and Electo is nothing if not prepared to make them suffer. I saw the tripwire on the ground, and I figured I could back up in time. It worked. Ooh, more bones! Marvelous! An iron mine. Pathetic. You heard you think 1 and 2 are on Steam for free? Yeah, I might already have 2, maybe, I don't know. I didn't play 1 or 2. I didn't play Morrowind extensively either. I didn't know Morrowind, like one of my friends did, you know, but it was not a thing that I had access to myself. We're gonna go back to this lake and see if we can clear it. We didn't look around very hard. This is where those weird hunters were. And by weird hunters, I mean these totally reasonable guys who are still absolutely acting wild, trying to shoot what I assume is a moderately innocent deer. Alright, we've got a chest here. That's good news. I wonder if these guys are made out of bones. Because, well, in abstraction, we don't just turn people into bones.
I've been hunting and... Take a look.
Oh, okay, they're merchants. That's all right. Now, you know, these are, you know, the common people, the important denizens of the land. Good job, guys. You guys calming down has saved your life. And it's still not cleared here. I don't think we're supposed to mark them. Maybe this is one of those places that doesn't get a cleared marker. Maybe there's some other thing going on eventually in the game that takes place there. Why am I walking down the mountainside like this? Maybe we will go to... Yeah, we just need to... We'll just trek across this place here, right? We'll just do that. That seems fine. We'll just travel this way for a bit, seeking bones. Yeah, because I'm an old person, but there's a certain point in like video game development history timeline where like sometimes the user experience is so unpleasant and dated that it's like, if I didn't play it already whenever I was young, I don't want to learn how to do it now. I don't know if they're like that, but like some games, like I don't think I would want to play, you know, Dragon Warrior 1 unless I already had played it before. Because while 16-bit RPGs age really well, 8-bit ones, in my experience, you know, if I didn't already love them, I'm not gonna. Ooh, wheat. Now, the important thing about wheat is that it's free. I mean, free for me. They never get you mad. They never get mad at you for taking it, and that's what matters. They also don't get particularly mad at a lot of things, apparently. Now, it just kills me that our character is not that murdery, because I need bones. All right, let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go here to the ritual stone. There's got to be bones here on the. Alright, good news. We found some bones. And there should be the old, what, gray water watch or whatever. I mean, I'm trying to be, like, play organically, but at a certain point, like, look, if I just need to get some bones, then why don't I go to a place I know there are definitely bones, right? Although, my character shouldn't know this, but, you know, maybe it's all coming back to her. Maybe she is remembering what to do. And I really love this area. I'm sure everybody loves this area. It's a fun little place. See, they ported it to Unity and cleaned it up and made it look more like Morrowind. That is very interesting. This fool. Note to Rudolph. I remember the story of this place, but it's fun, so we'll talk about it. It's like, your little son's trying my patience. I know my uncle has issues, but he is our watchman, and you will respect him. No more sneaking in and out. No more games with his ledger or nails on his chair. One more joke, and you'll see how funny a day in the cage could be. Ashvar. Exactly, can sense the bones. Scroll of Blizzard, that would be handy, but we'll just sell it. We're just eating some arrows here. Alright, so I figure the best way to get inside will be to bring someone with us that's allowed in. And if that seems like a stupid idea, well, good. I wonder what'll happen.
Who's there? Rodolphe? That you?
Yeah.
Boss was looking for you. Said he'd be up at the summit. Better not keep him waiting.
Because you look at his book and it's empty because, you know, because he's a blind person. Which, when you look at him later, he's called the Blind, so that makes sense. I think the rest of the... I don't think, like, they all let you go by. But, you know, we've got the bandit with us, so at least there's that.
Thought I heard something. Can't hide from me. I'll try and make this quick.
All right. Our bandit came back and he did some wizard stuff. How nice. And of course these guys are made out of bones. Wonderful. A vampire fledgling? Look how they massacred my girl. Up, I say, up. Alright, we're just gonna use the alchemy lab real quick. Because I have those honeycombs and I need to get rid of them. Fortunately, I don't remember. There we go, Ravage Stamina. The perk restructuring makes it so that, like, at level 30, you can learn all of the things from eating one of them. Well, I have somewhat of a good memory. I mean, it's pretty good. But I don't have, like, an encyclopedic memory of all of the Skyrim alchemy things. Because I don't care about most of them.
Of course not. Dogs I could train, but a half-starved wolf,
What was that?
not a chance. Time to end this.
I like her haircut. It's fierce.
Oh well, must have run off.
Lucky if it doesn't rip our throats out.
Hello, guys.
Time to get close.
Oh, you want to fight? Are you made of bones? What about you, ma'am? Magnificent. Could have been made of more bones, but still good. This guy's trying to give up as I am ripping the bones out of his defeated comrades. Oh, not today, bandit outlaw. Today you suffer. Well, not for long. Fortunately, even in death, you can still serve. First, by acquiring bones for the good people, and now by standing up. Paralysis poison, good stuff. Oh, if you burn the body and get bones that way. It would be nice if there were even more demented ways to acquire the bones, but we'll just have to stick with what we've got here. There's a perk that I saw where you burn the bones at the altar to level up more. Yeah, our Iron Hand is, you know, he's shooting hard. He actually hits really hard. Yeah, we just need to back up a little bit and not get hit by that power attack. I have seen this man's body get flung off the side of this by magic spells like a billion times. But oh, he had like a full body here. What a buff guy. What a big bony fella. So here, this guy learned about a, you know, it's just his journal about raiding people, seeing the dragon at Helgen, that kind of thing. There's supposed to be a book on that table, or like some gloves or something, maybe. Anyway, maybe they got knocked off the side of the mountain. I thought there was something else there, unimportant ultimately. Ooh, Apprentice Roads to Destruction. Dwarven Mace of getting sold. Find a skeleton spawner and use their bones to make bone meal. Well, actually, you'll be interested to know that you can make bone meal out of wheat seeds. Or wheat, actually. But, I think it would take more time to bone meal things than to just plant more wheat and wait. But I do need tons of bone meal for my hardcore world. Just so many bone meals. I ran through like 10 stacks of bones earlier, and I still need just so many more. But anyway, good stuff. Got some nice bones here. We don't want to visit Whiterun. We want to go to Redoran's Retreat. Do we? Yeah, that's the thing for the one fellow. Carjo? I think it's Carjo. The Khajiit fellow. Alright, so... Like, man, none of these are, like... If we go back to Trader's Post, will it just be like some dudes here and we can get their bones? Yes, but my other skeleton died, so you can only do this so much. Well, I know that we needed to go to this altar anyway, because, well... So we need to, prepare for going to Labyrinthian. Okay, so I think we have, like, an electric skeleton wizard who's, like, casting, like, apprentice level, like, I do 25 shock damage to you lightning, which is super hilarious. Like, what a champion. Let us seek the Daedra. Hello, sir.
Brilliant.
He's just mining some stone here. And he is just like okay with me being a necromancer?
Of Stendar. Cavort with any Daedra.
Because that's not even true, right?
Hunt you down.
Because the Flame Atronach is formerly a Daedra. A Daedra, yeah. Well, you know. I guess it's nice that they don't, you know, actively pick on you. Sort of reminds me of, so Dragon Age 2 takes place in this city where magic is, like, in-universe magic is heavily regulated and stuff in the Dragon Age universe, but the Dragon Age setting. But in this city, it's, like, mega banned, but in the game, you can just, like, cast fireballs and stuff in the middle of town, and it'll just, like, kind of let you do it. It's sort of like in this, like, if you do a shout and knock something over, and you're like, hey, you can't do that. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I wasn't allowed to be a big old hero. If only I could get the plants in Skyrim to give me bones, that would be nice. Here, this is Selim of Boetia. And we're just going to take some skooma that's laying around. Nice. Bones! Oh, the worst kind of bones. They taunt me. I bet Boethia could tell me something. I don't know if she wants to talk to me yet, though. Person on a spike? Well, not a person anymore. We gotta bring somebody here to sacrifice, I guess, because it's called a pillar of sacrifice. It's ringing a bell. I want to be like, this is a place where you bring followers that annoy you, and then, you know, act like you didn't just do that. Alright, well, at least we got it on the map. Although there are lots of bones here, no fresh ones. No fresh ones at all. Vegan necromancer, yeah, it's like I'm a vegetarian vampire. I only I extract blood from, you know, the plants. I have radish juice, you know. There's a little crab boy here. Where you at, crab boy? There you are. I'm like, what's going on here? Oh yes, there's an epidemic of slaughterfish and stuff. They'll be all right though. Since I have a wizard here that's just spiking everybody, we'll be okay. Oh, there's a chest here. Have I ever got this chest before in my whole life? I mean, I must have. Surely there's nothing good in it. Yeah, it'd just be a low-level leveled chest. Low-level leveled chest. Alright, why are we going this way? We're not going to find any bones here. Well, I mean, eventually. Well, we do need to get the thing for Carjo, so...
reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Rift.
We were talking about Oblivion and stuff. Because this character is like really only done the Mages Guild stuff and a couple other, things, but just mainly Mages Guild stuff. The Mages Guild in Skyrim, I'm not the first person to observe this, but it's like all the guilds in Skyrim don't feel right. I mean, the Dark Brotherhood feels fine, but it's like they all feel like they're a Fighters Guild quest with a little bit of spice, like what's magey about the Mages Guild quest line other than you use a spell to solve a couple of puzzles twice? But I know I'm not the first person to feel that way. I'm just reminded of it every time I do the quest. Because it's a fine quest, it just doesn't... not to club the game with everyone's complaint, but it doesn't feel logical for them to elect me leader of the college if all I do is hit people with a sword. It's like they should have done like a Thieves Guild thing where they make you learn all of the magic before you get the robes and stuff. Although that would have been annoying, I guess, but the Thieves Guild quest is annoying. Like, you have to go through so many loading screens to become the true master of the Thieves Guild in this game. So many loading screens. Which is fine now. My computer has a great loading apparatus now. But this game came out, they didn't have solid state drives, like, you had to really suffer. Just think of it for a moment. If you want to, you travel to Riften, behind the Thieves Guild, loading. You walk into the door to go down to the thing, loading. There's a secondary area to go to before you get in to the Thieves Guild proper, loading. And then you have to turn around and do all of it again. A saber cat, oh no! Alright. Alright, let's, Alright, he's lost our attention and... Alright. Got killed. I thought we were getting animation killed. I was like, no, I've got to have more HP than that. I think, yeah, maybe the skeleton. The big, brilliant, beautiful skeleton just spiked him there. And then we're going to... Yeah, well, we were supposed to go to Redoran's Retreat, but... That's where we're going. See, Skyrim's pretty unique. Yeah, it's a wonderful open world game. I love, like, this mod Ordinator has really breathed a ton of life into it for me. Just keep on saying it that way. Not to be funny because I'm a necromancer. It's just a phrasing, But, grow my own bones from calcium and milk. There's a sketch on the TV show Key and Peele once upon a time where they were doing a bit about like robbing a bank, but he just like he in great detail describes showing up at work and doing all this stuff. And he just like he just gets a job, at the bank, and that's what I think of there. It's like, oh, I can get my own bones. I'll just absorb some calcium, use a human body, energy from a star. There we go. There's a star up there. Good, good. And here we are in a place... This is a funny Skyrim place, right? Because I have been here, like, so many times, right? But I don't properly remember it. This is just a place that, if you're a Whiterun centered player, which a lot of people are, especially like what I would call like your normal Skyrim playthrough, because everyone's got a different normal one. But imagine a person whose normal playthrough was to say go to Riften and join the Thieves Guild. All right, yeah, totally normal. A person that runs into Whiterun and does the quest around there, yeah, normal. Maybe somebody goes to Falkreath, you know, that kind of stuff. Does anybody go to like Dawnstar? Maybe. Someone out there loves the snow and the story of that place, just like all of the other things in the game. And I just think that's super interesting because, you know, a lot of open world games, I feel like they're much more restrictive than they pretend to be. But Skyrim, with very few exceptions, really gives you the freedom to do what you want. I'm like, oh yeah, this is just a small place, and then there's the bandit chief, which is probably going to be like a real heavy hitter. Okay, so he's got Orcish Warhammer, tons of hit points. We'll just need to do it the smart way. That's right. Bringing his guy back to life. Oh, he tried that. Yeah. With a mighty power attack. Oh yeah, he's toast. Never should have come here. Alright, and I mean, the armor sells for so much, it's crazy not to take it, right? Real quick, what will we put onto his body? How about... And what is my weight tied up in? Like, what is it all tied up in? Literally what? All these bones? Maybe it's all these bones. Alright, well, I'm carrying too much to be able to run. Let's just... I don't need this pickaxe, whatever. Now I got 6 more I gotta do. I'm carrying too much junk. This is just too much stuff. I don't want to drop any more bones. Gold, you know, like, man, this is terrible. I got too much junk. Yeah, we'll just terrible. Well, the only way to feel better about having too much stuff without even going into the master chest yet, I'm about to feel so much worse about myself. At least we have plenty of bones. And after all, is that not why we are here? Moon amulet, there we go. Ah, marvelous. So this item is a very, very, very good item. Or, it's a totally meaningless item. But, it's a good item. Because if you know you're going somewhere with chorus, or whatever, somewhere with poisons, there is absolutely nothing in the world like 100% poison immunity. 100%'s real good. 100% says you don't have to care. I don't want to leave these bones. I'll leave something else here. What will we leave? This is the worst day of my life. Like I can't leave bones behind. Not again. Alright. We are carrying too much to be able to run. We need to run home and put all of our bones into a box. The Bone Collector. Imagine the bones people would have harvested rewards. Exactly, you know, it's wasteful. The ban on necromancy in Cyrodiil is, you know, it's It's got a lot of tack-on effects. Could be, you know, bad for the environment or something. You know, I'll work on the rhetoric. Our speech skill on this character is pretty low. What's not pretty low is our bone count. Oh, there's so many bones. Truly the greatest. Alright, so Carjo is there. If we move to the Waynan Stones, we'll have to fight some ice wraiths immediately. That's okay now, because I'm big and strong, and I'm not afraid of them. Also, I have this shield now, and that makes me big and strong, and I'm not afraid of them. A long time ago, early in the run, I had to run away from these guys. That's not going to happen again. This time, we will be strong. I think I'm about to die. All right, let's heal up. I mean, we're not running. We're still fighting. We're valiantly fighting. Man, I tanked too many hits there. The thing about ice wraiths, of course, they are not made of bones. That's okay. You don't hold it against them. Oh, and some large spiders. They are also not made of bones. Everybody knows that. That's why they crunch when you step on them with a sword. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry about the crows and the flies and the other things that feed on carrion. They always find a way to do all right. What can you do against a mage who has either infinite money or mana potions? Nothing. Indeed. Well, you know, that's it's like if you've ever been involved in like one of the Batman who would win conversations, you know. Like, if he had time to repair, he could beat anybody, is like what the saying is. I don't know if I buy it. It's not important. That's not what we're talking about here. But, you know, like a mage, if you give them like time and resources, you better like run. They're gonna send you back to mama in a cardboard box because wizards do magic. And if you give them time and you tell them that the stakes are high, you know, they'll get it done. All right, we're gonna take 4 skeletons with us. Unless I hit a button wrong at some point. Alright, and then into this wardrobe we will place large amounts of ingredients. This is very important. I should have done this a long time ago. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this now. I just like... I don't know how much weight is tied up in this ingredient inventory. It has to be. It had to have been at least like 20 though. Like it was a lot. I should have looked beforehand. Quest items can't be removed from my inventory. What quest do I have for Staff of Charming? Alright, I guess at some point I'm gonna meet somebody who wants this staff. You want to see like a get rich like a merchant playthrough? All you can do is buy gear. So like with what kind of stipulations? Like can you do crafting stuff? But you're just like you're not allowed to like loot out in the world. You can just like engage in commerce. But you don't like loot when you're out and about doing things in places. 'Cause that could be interesting. I've done a just alluding. Yeah, I've done. It was like a no commerce game. Yeah, like you could only like it was like I was like playing a bandit. Like so you could only take like gemstones and jewelry and gold and but not like ooh this is some shiny, suit of armor. Like it was never like that. Cause I was playing with some mod that reduced my carry weight too. I don't remember what it was. I probably wouldn't play with it again because it was super annoying in retrospect. All right, do we want to wait here to do this? No, I don't think so. Cause we need to go to Windhelm anyway because that bone altar that'll be like where we start with how I play a very entry-level mage with hundreds of mana and healing potions. I mean, you'd be fine. Because if you have infinite mana potions, that's the same as having infinite mana. Only with, an annoying extra step. Alright. I'm like, where do you go to sell things here? Here, except at 6 a.m.? Yes.
I'll be fine.
Master, you're far too old for this sort of journey. We don't know what's inside.
I can just.
You see, you're not well. Have a seat, and I'll fetch you some tonic.
Oh, if there was a tonic that could help me, I would have found it by now.
I like your robes. Are you a sorcerer from the college?
So close
It's
to
like, and I know that there's a quest there, but we're not starting it. I just wanted to buy something from him. But I realize now that because it wasn't the proper time, couldn't do it. Alright, Naranya, my girl.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
And she hits us with the classic statement. We're gonna buy the healing potions, and that's gonna be good, because we need to unload. Why am I carrying all those arrows? They don't have weight, they don't. But... we'll just sell her some dangerous contraband there.
Thank you for your custom.
You hear? The news was that mages blew up Winterhold. Guess it was just a matter of time.
Name's Neil.
Lies.
I'm the cook up at Candlehearth Hall.
Horses, all day long.
So you feel like
Do
it
you have any
end up
idea
knowing a
how
list of items to
dull
prioritize
horses
looting
are?
and craft so you could sell them? Oh no, for sure. So the first game that I played on YouTube, my most played game on Steam to this day, and like just like hundreds of videos of it. It's called Mountain Blade Warband, and I played this mod for it that made it like Game of Thrones. But in it, like it was hard to make money, especially starting out, and you needed lots of it for your ambitions. So I got like really good at, I would in the early playthroughs I would just be like running around. No star shine, that's right. We gotta get the star bright. I would run around. I would, take the grain from one place and trade it over here and get the iron, and I was like playing like an actual merchant. And it was actually a super fun way to play the game because it relied on, figuring it out, and then like the good thing was too is like in-universe knowledge helped. I'm like, oh yeah, they have salt here. This is a place that gets iron. I know that this other place in the books is always described as, having lots of furs or whatever. And then as you go to the other places, you see what the other fellows have that they might need and sort of solve their problems. And this guy's just like, man. That's right. This guy has 6 left hands on him. We're gonna leave him there.
Yeah.
Major melee? Nope, scavenger, exactly. You could just like get a follower and you hide in the back. That could actually be really fun. There's I haven't played it, but it's like it's a famous mod called Inigo, who I think it's a Khajiit follower that's got like tons of lines and like levels up with you, and it's got like tons of personality and stuff. And that could be really fun with like a merchant thing, because you could just be leaning into the idea that you like have, like an awesome bodyguard, and you're just trying to become, super rich. Amazing destruction. Yeah, with 2 skeleton mages. Oh, the other skeleton crumbled. We'll be fine. Alright, so we got another level. I think we have to save this perk. Yeah, we just gotta save this perk for a level. Because we need 60 for this conjure altar power. Because then we can just, get a bone altar. Hopefully it works inside places. If not, that'll just be a thing that we'll have to figure out. But it'll be nice to not have to, travel to a place on the map to take care of what we need to do. But that's all we've got for you right now. We've collected the bones, but it is past my bedtime. And that's all I've got for you today. Do I know there's a sprint button? I do. I do know there's a sprint button. But I don't often use it in the middle of combat unless it's important. And I sometimes don't use it whenever I'm regenerating stamina or even after it's back. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate you stopping by. Oops, it was great talking to you. And maybe tomorrow morning we'll tackle Labyrinthian, but I remember this being a sort of lengthy thing, so I might save it for when I have a couple of hours to crunch through the rest of the thing. But good night, everyone. If you're watching in the future, disregard all the time-sensitive information. I hope the weather is nice there. See you guys.